We here? It's Friday. Let's get straight to it. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm going to go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoom Console. I'm on. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm going to make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of According to the Bible. And this is According to the Bible, part 30. It's Friday. I'm a attempt to be brief. I just want to give some explanations and clarifications. Okay. Let's look at the ancestors and we'll get straight into this. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I thank you for watching.
There's one thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
There's no exception. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And there's no exception. What's going on out here today? This is according to the Bible. What I'm speaking about is all the believers. Christianity is the number one religion in the world with almost 3 billion, 4 billion, somewhere up in there. Adherents, initiates, members, however you want to call it. Islam is number 2 with roughly 2 or 3 billion, somewhere up in there. Let me get the exact numbers. Okay. We just having a discussion, and I didn't want to pull all this stuff up on slides in terms of slides because I believe this is stuff that I've said previously, and you guys can look this stuff up, for yourselves, as I have done. Largest religions in the world. Okay. 2.4, Christianity has 2.4 to 2.6 billion. Okay. And Islam has approximately 1.9 to 2.1 billion. And what year was this? What year is this? I believe this is current because it's talking about the numbers from 2050 to 2070. Okay. So you roughly around 2.4 to 2.6 billion Christians and 1.9 to 2 point something billion Muslims. Okay. So what's happened was they captured the world by way of religious literature. You see, religious literature is very key amongst this argument. The literature was created and put together, and it's been backdated, if you will. What I mean by that is the religious literature was created at a certain time. It's given a date, and it's presupposed, and it's supposed to be this old literature that was orally transmitted, and they wrote it down, and people believe that the literature that they're getting is actually ancient. But that's not correct. It's incorrect. No religious literature can predate the Book of the Dead. Okay. And that goes roughly back to 4,400, somewhere up in there. And it's older than that because that's when it was revised, some say. I'm talking about 4,400 and all this type of stuff, BCE. Okay. So that's almost 7,000 years old. Religious texts from that time period. There's no complete Hebrew. Hebrew is not real. Hebrew is a construct. They constructed this, and again, through your mind, presupposing that you had some people called Jewish people and Hebraic and Israelite people who lived in the BC dating way back in the beginning of the times and all this type of stuff. And they had literature that was destroyed. See? Long as you have some type of way to say, Where's the original? I want the original manuscripts. Where's the autographs? Oh, that was destroyed. We'll never see that. But when we're starting to find this little increments and little pieces, we have a certain piece here, we have two pieces there, we have Paul, we have this, we have Peter, we got Isaiah put together by little scraps, and we almost have a complete set from this date. The oldest religious literature from all these understandings is the Greek Septuagint in terms of dating. You see, that was put together, constructed at that time period. You cannot predate that. So there's no such thing as Hebrew. Hebrew it was constructed and created to take your mind back to a time so you can believe that these Hebrew people and this Israelite nonsense from the religious literature. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm speaking about religious literature. That this stuff is real, and it's not. Okay. These are stories. Now, what I'm speaking about is I did a did you know? I do did you knows, okay? And I said that in Romans 3:23, it states, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. When you say something like that, you're saying all. There's no way I should be able to go on that same biblical scripture in the book of Genesis, the very first book of the Bible, and refute what was just said in Romans. Romans 3:23 again states, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." But when you go to Genesis 6:9, it says Noah was perfect in all his generations, and he walked with God. To let you know, I'll go a little further. Noah was perfect and he walked with God. Nobody else ever walked with God. No, from that point right there, that was the first time they ever said anyone walked with God. Then you have Job, okay? Job 1:1 states this. Again, you can look all this stuff up. I didn't want to bring it before you in slides because I've done this before. Job 1:1 states this. This is all going against Romans 3:23. For all have sinned. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and the man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. That's another perfect. Okay, now let's go to Job 1:8. I just gave you Noah in Genesis 6:9. He was so perfect, he walked with God. Now you got a man here named Job who's perfect in 1:1. Now here go 1:8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feared God and eschewed evil. Excuse me? So you have two people that's perfect after Romans 3:23 said, for all have sinned. Now, if you got Job and Noah and they saying these is perfect men, according to the Bible, I don't care how you scrutinize it, classify it, and all this. This is what the Bible say. So what's been going on is in my comment section, a lot of people has been coming back saying that word is tam in the Hebrew. Again, I just told you there's no Hebrew. There's no Hebrew. That's created construct literature for a person to suppose that this stuff is old, and they have actual artifacts, signatures, and actual what am I speaking about? The actual scrolls and written literature from that time period, which you don't have nowhere on this planet. There's no original Hebrew script, the whole religious literature text, nowhere on the planet. It does not exist. Okay. Now, what they're doing is they went to Google and they said, okay, what does the word perfect mean in the Bible when God said perfect about Noah and Job? This is what been puzzling people's mind, because this is shocking, you see. So they come back and say this. The Hebrew word means tam, okay, or T-A-M, or T-A-H-H-M, tam, taham, all this type of stuff. That's the original Hebrew for the term perfect, and this is what it means. You get a strong concordance, Ehrman's dictionary, Bible dictionary, all this type of stuff, or you go to Google. Let's continue. Okay. Now, The word tam, when it's used in perfect, and it says right here in the King James Version, coupled together, perfect, plain, undefiled, upright. All these words go together. It says right here, King James Version, tam in the Bible meant together, perfect, as it was used, plain, undefiled, and upright. Now, if you undefiled mean without blemish. You never did anything wrong. Romans 3:23 said, for all have sinned. So this is why they put the word there regarding Noah and Job. So something's going on. See, the Bible, something's going on. Let's go a little further. Another comment was this: it means blameless. So it says it. This is the same understanding. Tam, blameless, guiltless, complete, perfect. One, blameless, man, integrity, peaceful. Blameless, guiltless, complete. If you look up any of these terms singularly or outside of this, okay, this is what I did. I put in blameless right here. What does blameless mean in the dictionary outside of religious literature? Blameless mean innocent of wrongdoing. So if you blameless, upright, undefiled, innocent, and all these things in regard of the word tam, the Hebrew word tam, which is translated into English as perfect, these are all the same words. Blameless, undefiled, upright, innocent, clean, without blemish. It all means perfect. So my point here is Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, in this religious text called the Holy Bible. It refutes and disputes that scripture there is a lie. Because if you go to Genesis, the first book, Genesis 6:9 says Noah was perfect. Then if you run along a little further, you go to Job 1:1 and 1:8 says Job was perfect. So Romans 3:23 is all a lie, 100%. Because Romans 3:23 says, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Well, you can't have fell short of the glory of God and be a sinner if you're perfect. That's my point. That's my thoughts on all this. I'm done with it. According to the Bible is a flat out 100% walking contradiction. It has a bunch of mistruths, untruths, lies, and nonsensical garbage in it that you have to wrestle with and go find what it meant in the Hebrew and all this type of stuff. And the Hebrew is telling you the exact same thing that the translation in King James is giving you. You can't untranslate and mean something that it didn't. Tam means blameless, undefiled, upright. All these terms cannot equate to a sinner. So you're stuck with a lie, nevertheless. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom Consort Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. This has been my thoughts and opinions. And according to the Bible is a flat out book of lies and contradictions. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion such as this or any of the ones I spoke about today. Pick up some knowledge. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. Hey, yay. See y'all Monday. Enjoy your weekend.